What it do, my gente? Your boys coming through once again. And on today's video, we have an incident that took place on Kern Valley State Prison and where an inmate became unalive. I have told you stories about incidents that happen behind prison walls, right? But I don't think I have told you something of this magnitude, in where basically there was a reaction because of the act. You know, supposedly right now, it's supposed to be peaceful in prison. There's no incident between races, especially on the GP, right? But the conflict is within the house, you know, people cleaning the house, moving on one another. And man, it is a sad situation, but it's reality, man. It's part of the game. You want to play the game, this is what it comes with, right? So before we continue with this video and tell you what actually took place in Kern Valley State Prison, do not forget to hit the like, a comment, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, man, hit the subscribe button real quick. Does not take nothing from you, and at the end of the day, just helping the channel. As a matter of fact, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we drop videos. And for those who've been supporting the channel and new subscribers, man, I do highly appreciate it. So gracias, man. Gracias for the opportunity. So let's get to the story. So on June 6th, right, level 4 180, Kern Valley State Prison, right, around 10:30 a.m. So program time, it's around this time, man. Everybody's already having fun. They're about to recall the yard, like what, in 30 minutes? And everybody's just having fun, right? Doing their thing, making their moves, conversating, stuff like that. And I mean, it's supposed to be about peaceful, right? Ain't nobody worried about nobody. The only incident that happens between your own ranfla, between your own people. And on this occasion, that's exactly what happened, right? So we have inmate Renteria, who for some reason had it for inmate Mendes, right? This is supposed to be a wonderful day, but Renteria was not having it. You know, he was strapped with the weapon, ready to use it, and guess what? He used it on Mendes, right? So he went over there, attacked Mendes, stabbed him multiple times, just hit him, boom, 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 boom. You know, as people are looking at this, you know, his own people, and they're confused. Trust me, they're confused because they don't know what was the agenda, right? I'm pretty sure as they seen the incident, they're talking like, hey man, what's going on right here? Like, why the homies getting off on the other homeboy? You know? They don't know. They don't know. Everybody's questioning this. The cops are seeing the incident, are hitting the alarm, are telling to get the fuck down, you know, or otherwise, of course, they ain't gonna listen. You already know, man, when it comes down to those yards, you don't supposed to get down until they use force. That's the reglas, man. You don't supposed to do that, you know. So you better get down once they use force, man. And this individual was not about to get down because he had a mission. The mission was to unalive Mendes, man. And guess what? He did accomplish that mission. So as he was hitting Mendes, eventually the cops got to the scene, right? And pepper sprayed him. That pepper spray, trust me, ain't no joke. That thing burns like a motherfucker, man. And after that, Renteria decided to prone down as Mendes is just laying down, man, with a bunch of holes on his body, man, possibly bleeding out. And at that point, the cops can't do nothing about him, right? They have to make sure that everything is secure, right? Because they're dealing with a lot of inmates, right? So they're waiting for backup, right? They eventually, as Renteria was laying down, 30 plus Southsiders, because this happened with the Southsiders, 30 plus Southsiders got up and decided to attack Renteria because of what he had done. You know, he went against one of their own, and that was not within the plan, right? So they went after him. They start kicking him, punching him, throwing rocks at this individual, you know. The cops is telling me, hey man, stop. It's like a mini riot. I have told the story where I have seen 20 individuals on one, and trust me, it's nothing nice. They kicked this individual. Eventually, the tower ended up shooting the Mini 14, right? Boom, on the floor, and everybody come down. And the crazy part about it is that they shot the Mini 14 after they threw the smoke grenades. Basically, can't see nothing, so he just shot at whatever, you know. And on this occasion, that's what they were doing to this individual. 30 plus outsider jumping in Renteria because of what he had done, right? It was a big no-no. It was a big violation of the reglas, You know, basically blue on blue. You can't do that in prison, man. You know, and apparently, this is gonna get him in trouble, right? So Renteria didn't like Mendes. He knew what he was gonna do. He knew that he was gonna take this individual and he had to be out of that yard. And he was not gonna go without nobody. And he decided to take Mendes with him. Now, we could have, if it was different times, we could have come with a different decision, right? Basically, you can come with two different scenarios, but I don't think the second one plays no more. But the first one is basically that Renteria was put on a bad spot, or Menendez had made some moves against him or whatever, and he had something against Menendez, right? Which at the end of the day, he was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this vato out, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna be out right there on the back, waiting for my day to be over, and then eventually I'm gonna roll it up to a different yard, SNY yard, right? That's one scenario, which I think that's what happened on this occasion. Now, if it was a different time, we could be like this. Maybe somebody from up there sent palabra to him to make a move on this individual who was possibly the bloquero. And since he had his own ranfla, his own people, you can't trust nobody. You have to make your move personally. And that's what he did. But let's not forget, there's still people who used to be up there. They're not up there no more. They're in that yard. You know? So those individuals saw the incident. Those individuals know what's up with that. So Renteria decided to turn against his own people and took one of them out. Why? For whatever reason? Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. But this incident is a clear no-no, especially on a GPR. You know? Big violation. And one thing I can tell you is that most likely Mendes was somebody with status on that yard. I can guarantee that shit. 100%, man. This is just a reminder of how dangerous prison can be. You know, if you want to play the game, go ahead, man. But you're going to come across situations like this and where people are going to test you and people are going to violate those rules because at the end of the day, they're going to oversee that because they want to have something and it's going to be your life. This is what happened. The brotherhood was broken and both of these individuals were actually from Riverside County. Renteria was a lifer with the possibility of parole, which Menendez was an inmate who used to be on death row and eventually just became a lifer. Let's not forget about the important people, the family members who are suffering a loss, man. Of course, even though the inmate was a lifer, he still had family out there, and to lose your family member behind bars, regardless of what he did to be right there, is something painful, man. That I cannot understand, but I can respect, right? So with this being said, don't forget and be a reminder, man. Prison is not for everybody, and trust me, you don't want to go to prison. Incidents like this always gonna happen, and it's gonna put you in a bad situation. Why? Because things like this can happen, or maybe somebody will ask you to do things like this, man. And at the end of the day, some people just want to go home. So just think before acting, because you can go in with 10 years and you're gonna end up staying right there for the rest of your life. You know, be mindful and appreciate the blessings that you have in your life. So with this being said, gracias al ratos.